Hard-fought game today. Give Wheeling a lot of credit. Battled in the second half and made it very exciting. More exciting than what we wanted to have on our side, of course. But I'm really proud of our guys that we were able to kind of ride the wave and be able to come out with the win in the end. A part of our message and a part of the tone is the goal is for us to be able to play our best football, and so it gives us a lot to really keep on striving for. And sometimes an ugly win doesn't feel quite as good, but of course you want to be able to win the game rather than lose it and be able to still keep learning and growing. And so we're happy to be in that position. But thought the guys played hard. I thought we really had some great opportunities to be able to do some really good things. We did some really good things, and I think we can continue to even get better. And so I'm really excited about that.
You talk a lot about momentum plays in games and how that can, how you say 3 to 6 plays can affect the outcome. You had a couple of those sequences, one in the second quarter with the 2 picks and 2 rushing touchdowns, and then in the fourth quarter where it looked like they might take the lead late in the third, and then you guys recover the onside kick, turn that into some points. So, how big were those momentum plays? Obviously that made a difference.
Huge. And, even, Chris, I'd say go back to the start of the third quarter. We get it down there. We come away with 0 points, and they come back and they put 7 on the board, right? So we could have made it 28-9 at that point and hopefully been able to play better defense and stop them from scoring. Right there, been huge momentum. And we talk about the middle 8, going into halftime, coming out of halftime, and the momentum that sometimes can do to change a game. And I felt like that was the difference to get them back on track, giving them life and hope for the second half. And now we were kind of playing like, oh man, we had to really dig down deep, and the momentum was not necessarily on our side naturally at that point. We had to keep finding ways and keep creating ways to do that. But in the end, I'm glad that we were able to find a little bit more in the fourth quarter there to be able to come out on top.
Yeah, you after the safety when they went and looked like they might score to take the lead, and you held them to a field goal, and then the onside kick, if they get that, obviously that's a huge play.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys recovered it and turned that into some points. So, how much did that sequence shift?
Huge. I thought when Jaden was able to recover the onside kick right there, we were already across the 50-yard line. That was a big morale booster. Great feeling to be able to have our offense start in that field position there. And so, that takes just great focus, and we practice those situations. Even in practice, if we don't get that right, if guys miss those opportunities to secure the ball, we do it over and over till we get it right. And so I think those guys, they were ready for that, and I'm glad that they were able to execute that.
And then 4 interceptions. I'm sure it's been a while since you've had 4 in a game,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all in big spots.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't really a question, but
no, but it felt good because I felt like at any time Wheeling kind of had the ability to drive the ball down and even kind of create some big pass plays. And every time the ball went up in the air, it's kind of like, oh, are we going to be there or are they going to be there? And it was good to be able to see that we were able to capitalize on a couple of those, and we needed to. We needed to be able to gain some possessions there and be able to give the ball back to our offense and be able to try to buy some more opportunities to go score.
And then one last big play as well, the last play of the game, Ben getting the sack to prevent them from the possible Hail Mary attempt.
Yeah, so, Ben, he is a great leader. He has been locked into this season and every week, trying to figure out what we can do better and trying to lead guys, and couldn't be more thrilled for him to be able to end the game that way. Definitely a big-time contributor. And he and I had a brief conversation yesterday just in terms of kind of comparing what he was like as a freshman until now, and just kind of, it didn't really have anything to do with maybe the play from today, but just very interesting for him to just kind of reflect and give him confidence of, as a senior, he's out there playing, and I think he's able to go out there with just a good confidence, a good hunger and a desire, knowing that he's had a lot of experience on the field, so he can make plays like that in big moments.
And then the rushing game today, still not necessarily where you want to be. It was 93 yards, but had some big plays, individual plays on that side of the ball that helped you guys to win.
Yeah, I thought Joe was able to find a couple creases. Of course, Josh has the ability to take off and go for a couple of runs too. But, we look at intentional runs in terms of our rushing statistics, and so we'll get that obviously after we watch the film. But I thought Joe was able to make some stuff work, and I thought, up front we're playing with new combinations and trying to just get the right people in the right spots, and I think guys up front did a good job of being able to just open a little something. And, I thought we worked well enough to be able to give us a little something, like you're saying, Chris, and we still got to find ways to continue to increase that and be better at that.
And we talked during the week about righting the ship after the lopsided loss last week. So how much did you guys do that today?
Yeah, I mean, I loved the first half and then the potential of what the second half could have been, and I'm so critical of our of all of our mistakes and our improvements that I want it to be the best it can be, and I always want our team to be striving to be able to capitalize on more things than what we could have, and so I got to talk myself down and to be able to enjoy being able to know that winning is not easy, and we got to enjoy it and be thankful for it, and there'll be time on Monday that we can get back on top of getting things fixed.
Yeah, going off the interceptions, 5 takeaways today, and 4 interceptions for a secondary that had some struggles so far this season. 525 yards allowed against Frostburg State last week. So
thanks for the reminder.
How much of a boost is it for the secondary to have a day like they had today with those takeaways?
Very good. I think it helps those guys to know that they can break on balls. They can, sometimes to go after interceptions, it takes a risk. You gotta be willing to put yourself out there and to go after the ball and to be able to be aggressive. And I think that's what it kind of does, is build confidence for our guys, and lets them know, like, hey, you got to be able to practice aggressively and be able to apply that to the game scenarios, and there's some good things that can come out of it.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns in that second quarter coming off of those takeaways. So how does it feel to execute in that first half on 3 rushing touchdowns, especially with some of the red zone issues that have been throughout the season?
Yep, absolutely. Whenever you get the ball back to the offense, as an offense, we want to really be able to do something with it, and it was good to see that we were able to drive it down. It was good to be able to see that we were able to punch it in while we were running the ball. It's what you're saying. I mean, we're going to continue to focus on the things that we're not so good at and things that don't show up very well for us in the numbers, and we're going to continue to push to try to find productive ways to get those things better and better every week.
You had the touchdown in the fourth quarter to go up by 12. Was there a thought about going for 2 in that situation?
Possibly. I think, just at that point, we were having some issues with some injured guys and substituting in and out, and just in the heat of the moment, I think we just felt like, hey, let's just stick with this right now. And but yeah, I mean, we've got the 2-point chart on the sideline, and I take a look at that every time we're kind of in that fourth quarter, and we just decided to stick with it, and I felt like if we were up by 2 touchdowns, I felt like there was a great opportunity for our defense to be able to hold, and we were able to do that in the end. Made it a little bit too close for comfort, but I think it worked out well.
Yeah, also some struggles the last couple of weeks inside the 5-yard line when they've hit you deep. The safety tonight, is that something that you want to work on moving forward, is establishing that run inside the 5?
Yeah, we work on backed up, which is exactly what you're talking about, inside the 5-yard line, and our goal is to try to get 2 first downs. Well, obviously, we got to be able to call the right plays, execute the right plays. It's a combination of just making sure that we're able to do everything we're supposed to do to get the ball moving forward. And unfortunate for the safety, but great learning opportunities, and we'll definitely take a look at that, because that's a scenario that we want to be very sharp with.
Yeah, and then Joseph Early, you talked about the rushing game being a little bit better today, but Joseph Early having some really big chunk plays. Talk about what that means as a confidence boost for him and establishing the run movement.
It really does. He's an eager player and competitor, and Obviously, if he's having success, I think it really bodes well for his morale, the team's morale. And so it's good when he can, break a couple of those runs and get some guys going and get himself going. And so it's been frustrating when he's not been able to do that. And, just like for any good running back, I think he's one of the best running backs in the conference. It's just we can't see that week in and week out sometimes because we haven't been able to really open much for him. But, when he can kind of do what he's supposed to do, I think you can see that he can be really elusive. And so to get him moving forward instead of having to run sideways and backwards, it's a very good positive thing for us.
And then lastly, into the game, huge sack to close that one out. Some tempers flaring at the end. Was everything all right there?
Everything's okay. Unfortunate that any type of scuffle has to break out at all. But I talked to Coach Bruni, and he was equally as apologetic as I was to him. We both felt like our teams just have to be better in terms of self-control and being able to turn away from that kind of stuff, and we just got to show more class. It's something that we talk about, and I was a little irritated with our team afterwards because we shouldn't even be in that position at all to entertain that, or I don't even know what happened. So I think just got to grow from that as well, and I told them we got to continue to examine our maturity level, our character. I think it goes hand in hand with how we play the game, what we do in the game, after the game. It's all relative, and so it's part of our mentality and our culture, and we'll continue to learn and grow and develop from it, and just like we do try to do everything else.
All right, Devin.
How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. We won.
I'll start with a broad question. How do you feel about the defensive effort today as a whole?
I think we played great at times. We kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit. In the second half, we just got to be better. We can't come out lax like we do, but overall I think it was a great day. We had like 4 picks as a unit, and I think we played pretty good.
Yeah, going off those 4 picks, how much do those help you as a unit to increase that energy on the sideline and keep that confidence and momentum growing?
I think it helps a lot. We were just out there balling, making plays, and it brought a lot of energy to the sideline. I know the team needed that, so it was fun out there.
Yeah, you mentioned the energy. How much of a jolt did you feel after your interception? Of course, everybody thought you had scored a touchdown. That wasn't to be because of the penalty, but nonetheless, a big emotional boost for the team after that play.
Yeah, it was a big emotional boost, and regardless if it got took back, we scored at the end of the day.
Right.
So it was a great boost for the team, and I think we really needed it. And the offense did a great job punching it in, capitalizing on the turnover and everything.
And what'd you see on that play?
I seen him running out and up. We watched it in film. It's kind of slow motion. I seen it. He tried to throw the ball over my head. I just jumped up and grabbed it, and I just acted like I was a returner and just play ball.
They had you matched up with some big guys out there on a couple plays tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Was there a different thought process going up against guys that are, bigger than you?
No chance. I feel like I go against the best receivers in the conference every day. So it doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare none of the other DBs. It's just another game for us. So we knew we can match up with them pretty well. So we just had to go out there and execute.
Yeah, and then a strong defensive stand really all of the first half with the touchdown coming in the last minute or so. And then shift more offensively for Wheeling in the second half. Was there an adjustment made on the final couple drives to kind of lock in defensively?
We just had to lock in. Like, there's no adjustment to it. We just had to lock in and just play ball like we've been doing the whole game. Like I said, we just had to play ball.
And after the loss last week, how important was it to win this game and, for lack of a better way to put this, to keep it from snowballing on you guys?
I think it was very important. I think the guys needed this win, and we knew we could go out and do it. We could play anybody in the conference. So, it was very well needed.
That's all I got.
Let's go. Braves win. Let's go.
All right. I'll start by talking about that long 35-yard touchdown run. Finally got to break one. Nice run into the end zone at a big opportunity for you. And how did that feel, finding that hole and getting into the end zone?
It felt great. I've been actually, dying to like break one, to really show my speed and show that I can be elusive and really make plays on the field. So that was big for me and big for the team as well. So it was good.
A rushing game looking a little bit better here this afternoon. Is that something that you want to see moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely want to see that moving forward. We went over a lot of pass protection and run blocking and just everything. So I think that we're moving in the right direction, especially with the run game. That's something that we practiced a lot this week, and just get better, performing. So I think everything's gonna go good.
You also utilized a couple of times in the passing game.
Yeah.
This one with some wheel routes today
Mhm.
and some opportunities through the air. Do you like those opportunities to get into open space?
Yeah, definitely. I think me being in space, trying to make big plays and stuff like that, I think that's the correct personnel to put out there on the field.
That second quarter sequence with the 2 picks and your 2 touchdowns, I mean,
Yeah.
that was all within about 4 minutes or so.
Right.
So, how big was that for you guys from a momentum standpoint?
A momentum standpoint, that was big. I mean, that was a big game changer for us to, get those picks, score those touchdowns. I mean, it definitely gave us life, just the will to continue to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's something that, our team needs, you know what I'm saying? Because I know sometimes when our back is against the wall, we may try to put our heads down, but and stuff like, Coach always tells us, when Murphy comes, we gotta fight back. You know what I'm saying? So those were some big plays right there.
All right, 2 picks for you in this game, and 4 for the secondary as a unit.
Yes, sir.
And all of those came in big spots in the game too. So, how big were those from a momentum standpoint, and then also for you guys as a unit for your confidence moving forward?
I think it was big. Offense. There was some drives where defense had to pick them up. And there was drives where offense had to pick defense up. But coming into the game, Coach Worthington, he was always telling us, we got to capitalize off their mistakes. I feel like that's what we did as a unit.
And that second quarter sequence, you had one of the interceptions, and both of them led to touchdowns. So that really made the difference in putting you guys ahead there in the first half. How big was that momentum was?
It was a big momentum switch. It was very crucial. I feel like it helped us a lot.
And what did you see on your 2 interceptions?
2 interceptions. Well, we were playing too high, so I was just going through my progression. 1 ran a slant, and 2 was running a skinny post. On the second ones, I just read it, broke on it. The first one, I had a feeling that he was going to try to throw the fade ball, but he actually looked it off and tried to throw another post. He ended up throwing it behind him, so just capitalized off of it. Got 2 of them.
The 4 interceptions as the secondary as a whole. Talk about how that fuels y'all moving forward defensively.
It's a big confidence booster for us, for sure, especially coming off the past few weeks. We've given up a lot of big plays, so hopefully it gives us momentum going into next week.
Yeah, once you get that first one, are you just on the lookout for the second one?
You want to get another one, and another one. Keep it going. Need to get a fumble now.
That Frostburg State game last week, coming out hurt, and then coming into this one, everything feel okay out there from a passing standpoint?
Yeah, I felt good. A little sore and all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of guys playing like that. I mean, it's football, so I just wanted to be out there with my teammates and, do what I could to help us. So.
Yeah, it was a different type of game than UNCP has played so far this season, where 3 of the touchdowns coming on the ground, and you sneaking in the first one on that goal line. How does it feel to utilize the rush game?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good sign that we put 3 touchdowns on the board by running the ball. I thought we ran the ball pretty well, and when we do that, it opens up a lot of other things, in our offense. So I thought Joe played well. The offensive line, we had to mix and match a little bit. I thought they played well. So, it's something we'll look to build on going into next week.
The fourth quarter touchdown to Fahim that put you guys up 2 scores. I mean, how big was that for you guys?
It was super big. I mean, we get down there, in the red zone. We got to finish drives. You can't be always kicking field goals. So it was good to finish with the touchdown. Fahim ran a great route. Coach Cox called a great play. Set us up for success right there, and we just went out there and executed.
And I want to say you had 24 points off of the 4 interceptions. So how important to capitalize in those situations when
Right.
you often have a short field and definitely have momentum after the turnover.
Yeah, I thought defense played really well. They got some turnovers today, and we always need those. And I was super proud of them. And when we get those turnovers, we have to go down and put points on the board. Preferably touchdowns. We talk about that, and I'm sure we'll look at the film, learn from that, see what we can do better when we're down inside the red zone and going into next week.
And then just bigger picture, how big was this one after what happened last week to kind of get you guys back on the right track?
Right. I mean, last week it was a tough loss. We were right there with them for some of the game, and then kind of got away from us. For us to come in this week hungry, humble, and get a win. And it was a hard-fought win. And it could have been better too. We were up big at halftime and kind of let them back into the game. But definitely something to build going into West Virginia State.